My name is Davida Jones, and I wear many hats. I am a serial entrepreneur, a women's health coach with single moms, helping single moms, and I also have a business coaching and brand management business. So I wear many hats. I dedicate myself to many people, but my main mission is a Christian one. I am currently a director for a small church in Philadelphia called BOD Church. So my main mission is to spread Jesus Christ everywhere, but also through my brand management, business coaching, and with single moms.
Awesome. Thank you. Now let's get into it. So, what problems or challenges were you experiencing before working with me?
Well, I've had the pleasure to work with you over the years, and I know that one of my biggest issues was always my clarity. Being a serial entrepreneur and being pulled in so many different directions, you come to the place where you get a little foggy, you get a little cloudy. And I believe speaking with you weekly and doing our workshops that helped me come to a definite place of which way I wanted to go in my business. And I believe that clarity, those clarity conversations through meditation and journaling and also through our weekly meetings help me decide which way I want to take my business. And because of that, I've seen, substantial growth in, both in clientele and, revenue, but also growth within myself.
Perfect. Thank you. And then, what would you say is the biggest challenge you were facing before starting to work with me? Tell me about how you felt, maybe some of, explain a little bit about your initial circumstances in as much detail as possible.
Yeah, so before working with you, I felt very stuck, felt very in a place of I just didn't know what was coming next. I've always had the mindset of an entrepreneur, always had a history of being an entrepreneur. I did work in corporate America for a few years, but I've always known that just being self-sufficient is something that I wanted to do. But before I met you, it was just like I just couldn't get clear exactly what I wanted to do, knowing that I had so much in me to offer others, but I felt really lost and not, center with myself, not really knowing what I should be doing. That was my biggest obstacle was just, getting through that steps of figuring out, who I am and what I had to offer and what direction I wanted to do.
Perfect. Perfect. And so, were there any obstacles to making the decision to work with me? Any false beliefs that maybe had prevented you from taking that step forward?
Yes, yes. At the time, when you're in these situations where you're meeting coaches and they want to help you take it to the next level, it costs money. And being in my position, you're an entrepreneur, we don't know when the next check is coming, we don't know the next time we're getting paid, our income is not consistent. So to go ahead and have that faith to pay for the workshops and pay for the classes, not knowing if there's going to be a return of investment is scary. So that was one of the biggest obstacles that I had because I did not want to invest in something that I wasn't sure, but it turned out to be like one of the greatest investments. So I'm so thankful to you on that. And I did not also have the time to do it. I'm stretched. I'm also a mom. I'm a single mom, and that's a lot of work. And I have businesses, and that's a lot of work. And then I have the church, and that's a lot of work. So trying to find the time to actually, meet with you, I thought I wasn't going to be able to schedule it in, but again, things work out when you want something bad enough, you go for it, you go get it. And I felt right. You felt right. Your coaching felt right. When we first had our introductory call, everything felt right. And it really did turn out to be the best decision I ever made. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you made that decision. Was there a specific moment, maybe when you noticed that your work with me was helping you solve some of your challenges or overcome some of your problems?
I believe I had a lot of those moments during our calls, during our meetings. And I believe that, it was like a light bulb, going off in my head. Also, there was many things, suggestions and, your point of view and perspective that you offered that I was not actually seeing that, and from you offering things, I was able to see a different perspective that, overall helped me to see the bigger plan, to also see different strategies. So in those moments, I think every call, I can't say that it's one specific time, but I think every call that we've had, I've had a light bulb, pop off. And I've always ended the call better than what, we started at. When I started, I was maybe confused or not clear about a certain thing. And then by the end of the call, I had my answer. So I think that, you're a genius. I love you. I'm grateful for you. All of our calls was beneficial.
What do you think was the biggest impact of starting our work together?
I would say building the confidence, within me to trust my gut, trust my intuition, and trust myself to make the decisions that are good for me. We can be our worst critics and we can, doubt ourselves the most. And I think working with you helped me realize, that, you just have to trust yourself. You have to go with your gut instinct, because when you go with those gut feelings and those intuition calls, they end up being going down the path and the journey that you're meant to be. Through the meditation, through the journaling, through our calls, through prayer, I was able to really just kind of build more faith within myself.
How are things now that you've solved a good part of the problems you were facing before working with me?
I've getting more focused on, who I want to help and the things that I want to do and the direction, I've got a flame under my butt and I'm just going. From our coaching calls, from our workshops, and I also want to thank you just for always being available. I think that, that's always good to point out, because sometimes, you get with, these coaches and they don't have time for you. You've always had time. You've always made yourself available. I know that you're married and you have a child as well. So you have many reasons to say that you don't have the time, but you've always made the time. Appreciative to you for that. But where I'm at now is, I've been on, TEDx, and I was a TEDx speaker here in Delaware. I've been published on many magazines and newspapers here for my work with, business management, brand management, business consulting, and with moms, single moms. So I'm also in real estate. I'm an investor.
If you had to choose the greatest benefit that you got from my service or working with me that you would recommend to another female entrepreneur like yourself, what would it be?
I think that, being in this space as an entrepreneur and as a woman, this space can be very lonely, and I think that working with you offered a partnership, that I did not have, and I believe that, two minds, as they say, two minds is better than one. And that's really the truth. When it comes down to brainstorming about your business and or your coaching or whatever your product you're trying to offer, trying to do those things on your own is a little bit more difficult than doing it in pairs. So that is one thing that was just super impactful, is just having your bright genius mind. I always call you a genius because you are, and just having your mind and your eyes on my material and my content, and just overlooking these things, helping me better everything, was really most impactful. But also, because of this, I was able to increase my profits, my revenue, from first starting out with you to now, definitely making six figures now. So I'm just proud of that. I don't say that to boast or to brag, but that's the goal. That's what we're in here to do. We're in here to grow, to better, and to increase our wealth for our family. So before starting with you, I was not making six figures, and now I am, and I'm just grateful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Mwah.
much. Love you.
Love you too.